Hello and welcome to the programme.
Coming up in the next half an hour.
The silent killer, an inquest into the deaths of a mother and daughter revealed they were killed by carbon monoxide as they slept.
Extremely sad. What can I say? My aunt was not just the sister-in-law to my mother, she was my mother's best friend.
Good evening. A dreadful tragedy that could have been avoided. The words of a coroner today at an inquest into the deaths of a mother and daughter from Kent.
Florence Holman, who was 98, and her daughter Marion Stillwell, who was 61, died from carbon monoxide poisoning at their home in Tunbridge Wells last October. The deadly gas was leaking into their living room because of a blocked chimney above their solid fuel burner.
A family member speaking exclusively to Meridian Tonight said she hoped people would take heed and realise the dangers of not properly maintaining a fire or burner. From Tunbridge Wells Coroner's Court, here's Paul Fitzgerald.
Well, the cause of death of mother and daughter was confirmed by a post-mortem examination as carbon monoxide poisoning. The inquest heard that both mother and daughter had a pinkish hue to their body, a classic sign, apparently, of this type of poisoning. Florence Holman and Marion Stillwell were found, as you say, October last year in their home in Stone Street in Tunbridge Wells. Neighbours had become concerned for their welfare because they hadn't seen the mother and daughter for quite a few days. Police broke into the property and found Florence and Marion dead in the living room at the back of the house. The source of the carbon monoxide was a solid fuel burner, and the reason for it emanating from the heater was a blocked chimney flue. Well, I'm joined now by the president of the National Association of Chimney Sweeps, Martin Glynn. Martin, you carried out an inspection of this heater a few days after this tragedy. What did you find? What was the cause of that blockage?
The actual cause of the blockage was the baffle throat plate just above the fuel bed inside the appliance, and there'd been a build-up of soot and debris and fly ash. A small amount, literally, on my findings, it was a small shovelful that caused the blockage. And
this should have been cleaned out on a regular basis, presumably?
It should have been maintained by the operatives of the appliance. In this case, it wasn't, sadly, with tragic results. But it goes to prove that there should always be maintenance on these appliances, solid fuel as well as gas, and preferably the chimney should be cleaned at least once a year by the National Association of Chimney Sweeps.
And very briefly, there was nowhere, literally, for the carbon monoxide to go. There were no vents in the room itself, were there?
There was no vents into the room itself, which wasn't meeting the current building regulations. But the main problem was the throat area of the chimney being blocked with such a small quantity, and in this case it was with tragic results.
OK, Martin Glynn, I should say, thank you very much indeed. Well, the coroner reiterated the importance of CO detectors and regular maintenance. He said with those, this dreadful tragedy could have been avoided.
Paul, thanks very much indeed. Well, with us now is Rob Aiers, who's an expert on the threats posed by carbon monoxide poisoning. Rob, thanks very much for coming in tonight. With so much publicity, unfortunately, in this case, and others like it, why do you think the message isn't getting through?
I think that various agencies, including the government, the gas industry, the coal-fired industry, are really not doing what they should be to get the message out there.
What's the one single thing people can do to protect themselves?
Well, firstly, as was said in the package there, that all appliances should be checked on an annual basis. That's gas and fossil fuels. But over and above that, what one must do is get a carbon monoxide detector and make sure that a carbon monoxide detector is fitted. That way your belt and braces, if you do have a problem that occurs during the period before the check is carried out, the carbon monoxide detector will pick up that there's been a problem.
It's a tiny, tiny device. Are they expensive?
They are around about 25 to 30 quid. If you think about that's the price of a takeaway meal, and it could save your life.
Do you think people should fit them as standard in their homes, like we do with smoke detectors?
I'm very much in favour of that, and I think in the future, and hopefully in the near future, they'll be fitted with the same sort of regularity as smoke detectors are now fitted.
Well, Rob, thank you very much indeed. A tragic case there, but let's hope by the publicity that it's attracted more people fit those, and we have left cases like that to report in the future. Rob, thank you very much indeed. So just to recap on that advice, check the flame colour on your appliances. Now check that it's not orange, because if it is, then you've got a problem. Make sure your chimney or flues are clear and that you have adequate ventilation. Get your appliances checked every year, and most importantly, as we've just been saying, do fit a carbon monoxide detector in your home.
And if you want more details on that, then this website, carbonmonoxidekills.com, should have all the advice that you need.